Hello and welcome to this lecture. Now I'm going to talk about the performance of the models and what they actually can achieve. So here we can see a graph that I've created, and this is just my personal take. You might question it and have a different view, but this is how I see it. So we have the performance as the vertical scale and then the difficulty to apply as the horizontal scale. And in the old days, let's say 10 years ago, when you were starting with Python, you were starting out by learning data handling, you achieved certain skills and you were able to get certain performance. But if you wanted to achieve more, you needed to learn something more on top of it. So you started out with learning scikit-learn for covering classical machine learning techniques. This was already extremely powerful. You were able to increase your performance or the performance of the code that you wrote, but it was getting more and more complicated. And once you had covered that, you were able to put more on top of it. So you started out in deep learning, and as in my case, I started out to learn TensorFlow and PyTorch. Still more complicated, but also more performance. And now the game shifted a bit with the introduction of large language models, because as I see it, it's like this. With much less difficulty, you can achieve already more than in many cases compared to the old systems. So just by covering what you learn in this module on large language models, you can see at the end how powerful these models are. But then it doesn't stop. So a complete ecosystem is building on top of it. You will learn in the next module then what vector databases are, which are also based on LLMs. And once we have covered that, it's only slightly more complicated to put on top the capabilities of retrieval augmented generation. Then you already have very performant systems, but it still doesn't stop. You can again put on top agentic systems. And still at that point, as I see it, these systems are much simpler compared to developing your own deep learning models. So this is the world we are living in. It's amazing for developers. You can achieve much more in much shorter time with much less effort. So the possibilities are nearly endless, but we need to start out small and learn all the basics. So in the next lecture, we're going to cover the large language model training process. Thanks a lot and see you there.